This shrinkage is so real. Ugh. Mm. Mm. Hi y'all, it's your girl KrisTEAnna, kind of doing like a vlog style tea for the week today. So yeah, and we kind of changed the location a little bit. You can kind of see I'm in the little one's room right now. I'm packing up the me of the we, as my mother would say. I'm packing up to get ready to send him to the grandparents, so I can have a weekend to myself and to do some work on me. But I wanted to like vlog a bit and do like a vlog, so I guess tea for the week, because I wanted to talk about like being 30. Yeah, I don't know if I said this before, like my age and stuff like that. So because I know that I can be a big kid sometimes, and other times I'm like, I have like the soul of somebody who's older, which is something I've been told often, that I have old soul. But at the same time, I'm such a big kid, so I'm like, the duality is real. With all that being said, kind of ties into like the topic of today. So I want to talk about being like 30. Yay! So I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, I was a little nervous about turning 30. I was. And hold on one second, I have to get like the bag that I'm packing his clothes in. Oh yeah, if I sound a little nasally, guys, it's again, it's just because I'm getting over the sniffles. And it's like that weather change that gets me every time sometimes. It's like going from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold. That have your girl messed up. Um, but um, basically, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Um, so yeah, I wanted to talk about like being 30 and stuff like that, and like how like in the, like I wanted to kind of probably I should probably vlog this like before right before I turned 30 and then like right after. But like I think as it was getting close to my 30th birthday, I was getting like really kind of nervous. I was getting really nervous cuz I had like plans. I did. Like I had this I've always been like I want to have this kind of life, like, and it was like borderline like extravagant in the sense of exploring, traveling, and all this other stuff. Which I have been very blessed to have some traveling underneath my belt, but I think I wanted to do a lot more and um learn a whole lot of new things and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like, I think right before I turned, I was just like, I didn't do a lot of the things that I wanted to do. I did a lot, but I didn't do a lot of the things I wanted to do. And honestly, I was kind of like, I went through like a midlife crisis. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best way to explain it. It was like a bit of a midlife crisis. It really was. I wasn't that I was like, oh, I'm 30. It was just more so like, there's so much more life I want to live, and I'm about to be 30. Like, it for me, and because I guess when you're young and you're in your 20s, 30s seems so far off. And even as you get closer and closer to it, it still seems like that's like a pivotal age to have stuff together. Like, so much stuff should be together, or so much stuff, like checklists. And I'm a big, like, okay. And this is something that I work on with myself. It's like I feel accomplished if I have checked off these boxes. And that's not always a good thing. I mean, sometimes it's good to stay focused on your goals and stuff, but it's not always a good thing depending on how hard you are on yourself. Oh my gosh, this is like half the clothes that I've been looking for. Happens when you don't unpack. I don't unpack. If let me know if anybody is like that too. Like when you come back from a trip and you just don't unpack, especially when if you're about to go back on another trip. That is like essentially me. Like I will have like trips like maybe a month apart and I just live out the suitcase. It's pretty bad. I know. it's probably a habit that I need to get into is unpacking, but I just feel like I'm gonna have to repack it anyway. But then in this case right here, there's so many school clothes that this kid could have been wearing had I unpacked. um, but yeah, back on subject. So yeah, it's I just really had that feeling, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I'm about to be 30, and I haven't done so much that I wanted to do and set out to do. And there's so much that I still have left to do because I figured that by this time I wanted to be only like part two of my dream or close one chapter, opening another chapter. And yeah, but I kind of took a little detour. I did in my life. So, um, yeah. I think my 20s, it's like for me, I feel like I was a little opposite. Like for me, my 20s was about um really like yes, following my dreams. That's kind of going to be I'm going to be completely honest. I think that's going to be my entire life story. But I think my 20s was more so about following my dreams, but also like having like because I was so like I want this now, 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 now. I wanted to have like been like able to retire. Like I had big plans. I wanted to be like retired, be able to have the option to retire by 30 so I can start the next big thing in my life. And yeah, I mean, had I known what I know now, I could have probably had that. But what you don't know, and it's not okay to beat yourself up over that and live in regret. But if this camera is shaking, guys, just forgive me. I don't really have that stabilizer right here with me, so it is what it is right now. Um so yeah, it was kind of like that. I mean, and I've thought about that a lot. I was like, man, if had I known all the stuff that I know now, then it would have been a whole different story. We would have been writing a different book. But it is what it is. So, and then so I kind of like that kind of hit me kind of hard. It was just that was the big thing for me. It's like you have so much that you still have yet to do, and I didn't kind of want to like start living my life according to me. Because for other people, they're like I have a good friends who are like most of my friends are older than me, and they're like, "Sienna, you're living your best life." And they're like, you get to do this, you get to do that, you have this opportunity, you're doing this, you're doing that, and they're right, they're right. There's so many different things that I got to do that I literally am like blessed to live the life that I do. But at the same time, like as far as like I'm blessed to live the life that I do that and that I get a lot of freedoms to do different things. And I have support to do different things. I know not everybody has support and sometimes support is not always it wasn't always the most ideal support, but in retrospect, it's like, oh, hmm, huh, I'm pretty blessed to have. So I did get to kind of like live my youth. I got to do like go places, live my dream, do a bunch of fashion shows, all that stuff. I was very like focused on making dream stuff happen. But then in that, I didn't take up on the opportunities to embrace other things that probably would have given me more checks on my list of before 30. Um like so that is something that, and so now I'm kind of like backtracking a little bit, and I'm gonna like I feel like my 30s is 20s part two for me. Like that is kind of what 30s is turning out to be, and I've kind of flipped where it's like now, like in my 20s, I was like, oh, I want to do this, have my career like this, and then I want to settle down like this, and it was never that I really necessarily was like, oh, I want to have kids. It's like if kids happen, okay, perfect, that's fine. If it doesn't, okay, perfect, that's fine. I think I was more pressed about settling down in my 20s because that was a thing for me. It was never like having kids or anything like that. It was for me, it was like having my dream job, doing the career of my dreams, and or like being my own um boss, dream career, doing living the life of my dreams, traveling, having fun, designing, creating, all that good stuff, and doing it with the love of my life. That was kind of like my dream for my 20s, in the mindset of settled down in my 20s. Now that I'm in my 30s, that's not as pressing. Living, just being happy, being at peace, and doing things that I want to do, traveling, experiencing different things, learning new things, and picking up new hobbies. That kind of thing is more impressing to me now. And it's not to say that I didn't have good self love and stuff like that in my 20s. It was just more so I really, really wanted that person. Like I wanted to find my person, you know? But 30s, I'm kind of like, I am loving my peace. And yeah, that's pretty much the new focus. And it's kind of like I'm not pressed for certain things as much anymore. It's literally a whole vibe. It's like that there's a vibe that I'm going for now that if anything doesn't align with that vibe, it's like I don't have time for it. But if it aligns with the vibe and yeah, then I'm great. I'm great. Yeah, I'm like that's the vibe. That's the vibe I'm going for. That's kind of the feels that I want. So and that's the kind of like the me that I want to be. So as long as it lines up with that, then that's pretty much the new goal. It's like whatever comes along that aids that goal, perfect. Anything that doesn't, it's like I can do without. It's pretty much where I'm at now. So I feel like now I'm kind of wanting to check off a lot of those things I didn't get to check off in my 20s. And um it's a little different. It's a little different doing it in my 30s. Also get to go in it with a little bit more wisdom than I did in my 20s. But in my 30s, I'm feeling like I'm physically are having a lot more energy. Mental clarity is like 10 times better. Emotional health is 10 times better. Um and that's because taking time to do things that serve me and are healthy for me. And a lot of it was mindset change. I'll be completely honest. It was just like a shift in the mindset of just, I'm going to be a healthier me. I'm going to be a better me. I'm going to be a more emotionally sound, whole me. And that has given me like a new burst of energy physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all that stuff. And so it really does feel like 20s part 2. Like it really I don't like that's the best way to describe it. For me, it really is feeling like 20s part 2. And I think it's because I chose to live it that way. Like I'm choosing to that's what 30s is going to look like. It's going to be like 20s part 2 and but like the better sequel, because I know more. I'm wiser. I'm choosing to be healthier and I'm also learning more, being more educated in different areas so that I can make better decisions and stuff like that. So yeah, and I'm choosing to that's what my life is going to look like. And that since it's a conscious choice that I'm making and I'm making sure that everything I do lines up with this choice that I'm doing. And when it's not, people check me, hold me, and when it's not lining up with that, that's, then I'm like, okay, fine, redirecting, let's get back onto track. So yeah, I'm I'm not pressuring myself on a lot of things. Um I am just deciding to live my best life as my authentic self, being me and just still achieving my dreams. 20s, I feel like I was chasing my dreams. 30s is achieving my dreams. And yeah, checking off everything that I want to do, adding new things to the list because I feel like I'm always adding new things to the list because I just grow interested in so many different things. Like my vibe is like a daily. It's like it's almost like a switch daily. My vibe. I feel like there's some things that are constant about me, like about bettering. Like the things that are constant in me is anything that's bettering myself, living my ultimate life and everything like that. But the course of how I get there can continue to shift, but it's still that goal. That's pretty much how I operate. So yeah. Um and then but I'm also learning consistency. Like that's something it's okay if you have to shift, but sometimes it's okay to stick with something and see it through to the end. And that's a thing that's like a little lesson I'm learning too. So yeah, that's just kind of like I know I'm like ranting and stuff like that, but yeah, that's just kind of the little tidbits and stuff that I've gotten in the mindset that I decided that I was going to enter my 30s in, and that I wasn't going to follow the pressures of a lot of life milestones and stuff like that. As long as I feel like I'm achieving the things that I want to achieve in my life, it's like all those other milestones be dinged. Keep it clean. You know, it can be like whatever. I'm not That's not gonna be my story. And I'm okay with writing my own story the way I want to write my story. So, yeah, that's it. But I'm going to end it here today because I seriously got a lot of packing to do and I'm just starting. So, that is all. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I can't wait to come back to you guys again so we can hang out again. But always remember, my kind of designs, that mean your own kind of life, and never forget to dream. Bye, guys. See you later. Stop reaching.